This is a little bit too much like work. What's up? It's actually been a few weeks since the first video about the MasterCraft. I haven't had time to work on it. I've been dealing with all kinds of crap. One of them's right here. This is my rental truck, because my red truck is in the shop after a little fender bender I had. So I've been dealing with that and finishing up the little skiff too, which it was only just a few things. I felt like just a couple of days worth of work. But once you get down to the end, it seems like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. So I'm finally getting a chance to work on the MasterCraft. And I still want to keep it a shorter series, mainly because I want to take the boat out. I want to hurry up and get this thing done. Today is May 4th, and I would like to take a vacation Memorial Day weekend into the first part of June and take the boat out. It's what I want to do. I got to make sure I get my red truck back, because this piece of crap doesn't even have a towing package. Anyhow, so I'm kind of cramped for time. I don't have a whole lot planned for it. But I definitely want to do some painting on it. The one little chip I showed is what I'm going to be working on today. What I'm going to do is sand it with some, I think I got some 36 grit. I really want to go with something rough and kind of get, the surrounding area, something about like that. And wash it and wipe it down with acetone. And I'm going to go with some Bondo glass. This is short strand reinforced fiberglass filler. I'm going to try to get away with just using this and not a fiberglass mat. We'll see how that goes. This is what we're doing today. I'm hoping I can get a lot more in this video besides just this, but this is the first step that I'm taking on this boat. Let's get to work. All right, a little bit of change of plan from what I originally expected to do to this boat. I was wanting to buff it out, but I have decided to go ahead and paint this thing. I don't know a whole lot about fiberglass boats, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend to. So don't get me wrong, don't take my word for it. Do your own research. But what I gather, the best way to fix any kind of fiberglass boat, if you have gel coat issues, is to go back over it with a gel coat. Now, I'm not going back over this boat with a gel coat. It does have a couple spots that someone has fixed prior to me patching that one spot that I saw, and definitely, was through the gel coat. Now, someone has went back and painted this thing with just regular urethane, like car paint. And that is why I am painting it with urethane. I'm going back over the urethane with urethane. And that's why, if it was original gel coat, it probably wouldn't be that scratched up for one thing, but I just feel like the scratches are not going to buff out. And where I had to patch that spot is just, it got down into the red, and I sanded the red, and I don't want to have to paint it and buff it, and it just seems like it's going to be a nightmare. Not to mention, the white kind of comes up on the very bottom side, maybe 2 inches, the bottom part of the boat. And what I've decided to do is go ahead and paint black from the rub rail all the way down to the bottom edge of the boat. So no red, no white. The whole side or the bottom of the boat is going to be black. I say black, it's going to be satin black. I've already ordered the paint. It's supposed to show up today. Satin black, it sounds like an easy out. It is. Satin black can cover up a world of hurt. It's not flat black. It does have a sheen to it. That's not the only reason I'm doing it. I actually like satin black. I've always liked satin black on vehicles. And, say I'm being lazy, I don't care. I think it's going to look good satin black. I've already ordered decal. A guy on eBay, I've gotten a lot of decals from him, older boats and stuff. I actually hit him up and I asked him if he could make this decal for me because I couldn't find it. I think it was a custom made decal, whoever painted this boat, and he was able to match it. It was a MasterCraft logo with the right font, but it had a red stripe under MasterCraft, and below it, it had a white stripe. And that's what I'm going to go back with the decal he made with the red stripe, and also is a pin stripe on one of the body lines of the boat that is red. I'm going to replace it after I paint the boat. The interior is white with black and red highlights. So when I add the red pinstripe and the red of the MasterCraft logo, should kind of tie that in so it won't look awful. I think a little bit of pinstripe and stuff will be fine. What we're gonna have to do now is take off the original MasterCraft decals and the pinstripe and then start wet sanding this thing. The deep scratches, I'm probably gonna hit with a mouse sander, I think 220, and try to feather it out some. And then I'm going to go in with a block and try to block this thing out, wet sand it, and hopefully get it out looking pretty good. And I'm wanting to paint it tomorrow morning. Like I said, I got the paint from Hot Rod Flats. It's I think it's actually called Hot Rod Black. It's just a satin black. It's the same company I used when I painted the orange boat. I took off work today and tomorrow, and I'm hoping to get up super early in the morning and get this thing painted before the wind starts kicking up. So what we got to do today is get this thing wet sanded, ready for paint, and maybe start taping some of it off. All right, let's get to work. It's a lot of work ahead of us. All right, paint came out looking pretty good. It's been about 4 or 5 days since I painted it, and it's dirty. It's done rained 2 or 3 times. It actually rained the day that I painted it, but it looks like everything came out okay. The rain didn't mess anything up. I need to clean it up a little bit because it's time to put the decals on. I got the decals and the pinstripe. I think what I'm gonna do, since I want to do this today and I'm kind of in a hurry, I'm gonna try to just take a tack cloth and go over the spots that these are going, and then go ahead and pop them on there, and hopefully we don't have any hiccups. So wish me luck. Well, alright guys, I'm going to end this video right here. That wasn't any fun, at least the painting and prep part. It really sucked. But the key to any good paint job is prep, prep, prep. And it turned out pretty daggum good, if I do say so myself. Satin black does cover up a world of hurt, and I did miss a few rock chips that I should have, you know, tried to get out. But it looks a whole lot better, and it actually looks good in person. I know a lot of things look a lot better on video or camera, but it actually, I'm pretty proud of the little paint job I did. I also feel the need to go ahead and say that I don't think this is the best way to go about doing a boat. The best way is to do the gel coat. Redo the gel coat if you have to. Probably the best way to do it would have been to, you know, remove all that paint that somebody else has put on there. I always try to do the most effective, cheapest way to do this boat, and that's what I did. You know, if this boat had not been painted previously by somebody else with urethane, I definitely wouldn't have done it. I would have went ahead and addressed the gel coat. But like I said, since someone has already painted it with urethane, I just did the best I could with what I had and painted on top of it. I didn't want to spend an extra $1,000 on this boat. I'm already a little deep on this boat. So, that being said, you know, it looks good. The only real downfall of painting a boat with car paint or urethane is it's just not as durable as gel coat. It's not going to affect the performance of the boat in any way. But it will scratch a lot easier than gel coat. And over the years, you know, gel coat can fade, and really the easy way to fix it, you know, you just wet sand it and buff it out, which I say easy, it's not that daggum easy. But it's fixable with paint, especially the satin paint. You can't wet sand and buff satin paint out. Worst case scenario, somebody really takes care of this boat, watches how they dock it, and doesn't fly down gravel roads, it might get a little shinier over time, because satin black has a tendency to do that. But like I said, as long as somebody takes care of it, it's going to be fine. It's going to look good. Don't run up on anything on side of docks. That's what it looks like somebody did, whoever owned it previously. Maybe they didn't know it was painted urethane. Who knows? But I am glad that's over with. I can honestly say the prep and paint on this boat, it took me 8 hours. from start to finish. And that's not counting fixing that chip with fiberglass, just actually sanding the side of this boat and repainting it took me 8 hours. Definitely the hardest 8 hours I have ever worked on a boat before. I'm glad I did it. It turned out, it looks really good. Next up is more paint. Unfortunately, we're doing the bottom. Still got a couple things to try and figure out. I think I know how I'm going to get it off the trailer where I can paint where the bunks are, but I can't do it here. I'm going to have to take it somewhere else. It's a little more level than what my driveway is, but that's going to be the next step. I already have the paint, all the equipment to do it. I just need to get my freaking truck back. You say I still have this ragged Dodge, but they said my truck is going to be ready tomorrow or Thursday. So hopefully I can get it back and we can get this boat moved somewhere and go ahead and wrap up the painting part of this boat. And then really all we got left is some cleanup and detail. So it might end up just being 3 or 4 videos on this boat. I need to hurry up and get it done because I think I'm going to go ahead and try to sell it, at least advertise it and list it for sale around Memorial Day, because that's just a good time to sell a boat. Everybody's wanting to go out, you know, and if you wait too late after 4th of July, that's the last big weekend of the summer. So I'd like to go ahead and get it listed. And if it don't sell, that ain't no big deal. I don't mind keeping the boat either. Just got to find somewhere to keep it besides here, because all these little dingleberries falling out of my oak trees are driving me crazy. I'm tired of cleaning this boat out. I can't keep it here. But anyways, all right, I'm rambling. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you on the next one.